Welcome back to the AI Playbook, the one show you need to watch to ensure AI adoption happens at your company. Let's dive into it. What's the biggest misconception business leaders have about implementing AI adoption in their companies? The biggest misconception, the biggest thing that people need to understand is that it takes time. There isn't going to be an immediate adoption at your company. The technology is going to keep moving extremely fast. It's going to get better and better, but the one thing that's actually going to be hard, even as we get something like AGI, will be like, how do we actually use it? The misconception that a lot of business leaders have is like, hey, we'll just buy this AI tool and overnight we're gonna see 100% productivity gains and everything's gonna be perfect and we're gonna save all this money. It's like, no, it actually takes time. There needs to be strategy around how you roll this thing out. What are the use cases that actually work today? And what are the use cases that you should wait 12 months for the models to continue to get better? And I think the other thing is that adoption is gonna happen bottom up. It's not actually gonna come from the leadership going, hey, we have this initiative, we know how we wanna use it. A lot of the way that AI adoption happens is employees uncovering use cases, talking about those use cases, and getting more and more people at the company bought into them. So start using it. Adoption takes time, and make sure that your employees are sharing their use cases. You're actually driving that adoption bottom up. Where are we really on the AI adoption curve right now? Are most businesses still experimenting, or are we seeing meaningful implementation at scale? This is the thing. Right now, every company feels like they're behind in AI. But the reality is that most companies are still in the same phase. They don't really know where to start. They've been kind of scrambling. They know they have to adopt it, but they haven't really found that tool or that product that actually made that direct impact. And so I think a lot of companies are kind of overthinking that they need to play catch up. I really do think that companies should start. You do need to start experimenting. Your company needs to identify those use cases. Now it's becoming more critical, but we are so much in the early inning of AI adoption. There's a lot of companies that talk a big game, but when you really look under the hood, we're still in the first phases of this. So I wouldn't be worried that you're behind. I'd see it as an opportunity though to start going faster, knowing that your competition still hasn't fully grasped it yet either. What's the most obvious AI use case that big companies are completely missing right now? I think the big unlock for companies is what I call contextual automation. Basically, companies are familiar with automation platforms of the past 10 years, things like Zapier or even UiPath, whatever it is. But now there's this new type of automation. There's this contextual automation where it actually needs to deeply understand your business in order to complete it. For instance, like a great example of this is like auto-completing RFPs or RFIs, right? These aren't things that can be done on the previous automation platforms of the past. Zapier could never do that. This next generation, the best use cases are the ones where you need to automate things that actually understand your business deeply. Things that really, the sales and support teams in particular, they require that nuanced understanding of a company. And so I would say that's the biggest unlock. The best place for businesses to see a major bump right now is in that sphere of contextual automation. What part of AI is massively overhyped right now and what's actually being underestimated? I think the thing that's being overhyped right now is the fully autonomous AI chatbot on your website. I really believe that we're not fully there yet. I think you should still have a human in the loop for a lot of the automations that you have, but even in particular, the ones that your customers are interacting with. I think the models are getting better and they're getting there. But for me in particular, and for our company, I wouldn't want a totally autonomous chatbot to potentially hallucinate and lie to my customers. Now, for us, the thing that's being underestimated is just the internal productivity gains. It's like, how do you focus on just making your employees 90% faster, right? Instead of like focusing on this 100% automation that has massive risks that the chatbot can lie, can just provide a terrible customer experience. Keep the human in the loop where the human matters. And that's that human interaction between you and your customers. Now, after that human interaction, should they be adding next steps to the sales calls, their CRM, filling out Medic, doing all these things? No. Should they have to do the research and searching through all these internal documents, finding the answer to a customer question? No, that should be automated, right? But leaving that on the table, leaving that human to human connection for your sales and customer support, I still think is one of the best areas that you can sort of differentiate yourself, as every company is looking at these AI SDRs or looking at the AI chatbots, which I think provides a negative experience overall to customers when you could just be focused on that internal productivity. What skills should people actually be learning right now if they want to stay relevant in an AI-powered workplace? I think right now, every skill and everything you're doing should be centered around AI implementation. How are you, as a person, as a filmmaker, as a teacher, as a construction worker, how are you doing your job better and faster with AI tools? This is the skill that no matter what job you take on will be the way to differentiate yourself in the marketplace, not only as an employee, but as a company, right? It's all about how do you take this open-ended, abstract concept of large language models and put them in a way that can genuinely be used by your team to make your life easier. So I think the best skill right now is being able to be the one who has this intuition, this AI intuition of what the models can be used for, and then being able to set up the tools to actually see the benefits from this technology. With so many AI tools flooding the market, what separates the solutions that will survive from those that will fade away? Right now, it is such a noisy market. You as a consumer, right, you as a buyer are so confused on what should I use, what should I not use. One of the best ways to look at an AI tool and if you should use it is almost this level of honesty and transparency, right? There's a lot of AI tools that are built around hype. They're overselling and under-delivering. The companies that are saying on their website, hey, we're gonna totally remove the need that you'll never need to hire a software engineer ever again, those are the companies I would stay away from, right? Those are the things where they're kind of lying to people and buying in and leaning into the hype rather than just trying to guide consumers, just trying to guide their customers in a way where they actually see tangible benefits. I would say look for the companies that lead with transparency and honesty, the ones who aren't afraid to say, what are the limitations of the models today? What are the limitations of the tools today? Those are the tools that I think will steer you in the right direction. Because if they're around, they're actually gonna show you the way to get the benefits, and you're not gonna buy a solution expecting the world, expecting your company to change overnight and for it to just fall short. You'd rather invest in the companies who are willing to be straight with you, who are sort of under promising, because those are the ones who are more likely to over deliver. That's it for the AI playbook this week. Comment down below on this channel, YouTube, Instagram, TikTok. Hit me with your questions. I'm going to answer them. I'm going to be doing this on a weekly basis, and we'll see you next week.